On a quiet Minnesota night, a college student calls for help and then vanishes after his last final words. What happens next has baffled police for over a decade.
It was May 14th, 2008. 19-year-old Brandon Swanson had just finished his first year at Minnesota West Community Technical College. Classes were over and summer was beginning, and like a lot of college students, Brandon spent his evenings celebrating with friends. Nothing unusual, nothing out of the ordinary, just a normal night. Around midnight, Brandon got into his car and began to drive home to Marshall, Minnesota. It should have taken about 30 minutes, but sometime during that drive, Brandon took a wrong turn. Instead of heading towards Marshall, he ends up on a dark rural road surrounded by farmland, miles of empty fields, no streetlights, no houses nearby, just gravel roads stretching into the darkness. At some point, Brandon's car slides off the road and into a ditch. The crash wasn't serious, he wasn't injured, but the car was stuck. So at about 1:45 in the morning, Brandon calls his parents. He told them exactly what happened and asked if they could come pick him up. And of course, they said yes. But there was only one problem. Brandon's parents weren't exactly sure where he was. He believed he was near the small town Lind. So his parents get into the car and they start driving in that direction. Meanwhile, Brandon decides he's going to start walking. He thought he could reach the town lights he could see in the distance. So he stays on the phone with his father while walking down this dark rural road. For nearly an hour, they talk, trying to figure out exactly where Brandon is. His parents drive the roads around Lind, hoping to spot him. At one point, they thought they were very close, so they start flashing their headlights and honking their horn. But Brandon said he couldn't hear them. Not the headlights, not the car, nothing. It was strange. They seemed to be in the same area, but somehow kept missing each other in the dark. Meanwhile, Brandon kept walking, still on the phone, still trying to guide his parents towards him, and then suddenly, everything changed. Brandon says 2 words, "Oh shit," and then the phone goes silent. His father thought Brandon had simply dropped the phone, but Brandon never came back on the line. The call stayed connected, but there was nothing. No footsteps, no movement, just silence. His parents immediately called the police, and search teams began looking for him the same time that morning. Eventually, investigators find Brandon's car, exactly where he said it was, abandoned in a ditch. But Brandon himself was nowhere to be found. Search teams comb through nearby fields, roads, ditches, and waterways, but they find nothing. Later, investigators discover something disturbing. Near the area where Brandon's phone call ended, there was a river running through the farmland. Some investigators believe that Brandon may have accidentally fallen into the water that night. But despite years of searching, no trace of Brandon Swanson has ever been found.